Hello, my crafty friends, and welcome back. I'm so super excited to be here with you today. And we're celebrating something super duper special, as you may have seen in the title. We're looking at the newest. It's kind of related to Build-A-Flower, but it's Build-A-Garden, so it's super exciting. And it's the new subscription that's coming out, so super duper exciting. Hello, everybody, and please also say hello to my eye in the sky. Roxanne is with us today, so she'll be all those quick right or left hand turns I take. Roxanne will be with me, so thank you so much, Roxanne. Okay, guys. Yes, ready for some afternoon fun. Who doesn't want a little crafty fun on a Monday afternoon? I mean, any afternoon, really. All right, let's get started with the crafting. So I'm going to switch you guys down so that you can see my workspace instead of all this. All right, so we got the workspace going on. So oh, great. I'm so glad it's perfect time for your lunch break. Super cool. Now, just going to say that there is free shipping if you spend $29 today. And I checked about 20 minutes ago and this was in stock. So if you like it, just putting it out there, no pressure at all. But I like to know options. I'm an options girl. Love the options. Okay, so if you guys did the hop, you saw these cards. And I did one on colored cardstock and one on white, just to show you the difference that we had. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. That's so nice. Yes, and for those that are seeing shared in there and you're saying, what's going on with that? If you share, you're entered into a drawing after this live for a gift card for $15 to the Altenew shop. How cool is that? So make sure you share if you'd like to for that possibility. So this is kind of what we're going to do today. I thought we'd do similar. We're going to do different colors, and we're going to look at combining some of the jewel tone colors with our regular families that we're used to. So, and these were two others that I created, and I wasn't so sure about them. My splatter got a little out of control, and this one I wasn't quite sure about, but I thought I would show you. Yes, obsessed with the orange. All right, let's get to work. We got a lot of work today, you guys. I'm serious, lots of work, lots to do. So we are, and Roxanne, I'm starting right out at the beginning with a right quick turn. We are going to, and here's the stamp set. It's a beautiful large fella. We're going to use limestone to stamp this, and I forgot to mention that. I'm sorry. So that we have kind of no line stenciling. You guys know I'm a big no line gal. And then we have the stencil to go with it. But I mean, look at this fella. This fella is large and in charge. It is just a big fella. So what I love about this is that you stamp once, you got two cards, my friends, two cards. How super cool is that? And then I will remind you, when you pull off large stamps like this, make sure you go slow and easy. I have torn one in half before. It was a me thing, not the stamp thing. So I'm just going to place this because I want all of it. And I also want to have a place for my sentiments. So I'm going to put it kind of kitty corner-ish. Yes, everybody loves the twofer, don't they? You put in a scotch of work and you get out two cards. Super duper cool. All right. And this set, as you know, those that have been with me, I'm a sentiment gal. Some great big fellows in here. But they also included some little ones that you can kind of sneak in as well. So the card, I'm actually making two cards, Sue, out of one. So we're just going to stamp this one time. We're going to do the ink blending, and then we're going to get two cards. So see, we get two cards out of one go round here, because we get the little flower at the end, then we get the branch up there. So are you guys excited about the new Build-A-Garden that you've seen? Are you guys super duper excited? Are you sad that the Build-A-Flower is kind of taking a hiatus? Or how are we feeling out there about this change that we have going on with our new subscription? Well, I guess it's, I said new subscription in the description, and I'm like, but is it a new subscription? Because it's kind of the old subscription, but it's kind of a new subscription. So I toyed around. I don't know if it's new or old, or we're going to go with it. And I'm on spicy yogurt cardstock because I wanted to show you the difference. This was plain white cardstock. This spicy yogurt, look at all that detail and the cinnamon bits I have in there. So that's great because it adds dimension without me doing anything. I don't have to do anything. So that's the great part. I love projects that I don't have to think too much or do too much, and I get a beautiful, gorgeous result. How about you guys? You guys like that? Is that something you guys like, where you put in a little bit of effort and people get the card and go, oh my gosh, this must have taken you days? You're like, oh yes, yes, days. This took me days. Okay. So we are going to go, and these, of course, have the numbers on them, which is terrific. So 2, I just had washed mine. I just run them under the water because they're water-based. Change is positive. I love that. I love that. Yes. And so we have this here that shows you the 4 stencils. And then in your layering guide, I stamped a bunch because I thought this would be a quick go-to activity. If I was having like a kind of ho-hum day and I needed to color, I have these and I just tuck them in my layering guide. So I did zoom in so you guys could see me with the stencils. But so this shows you how to do this, okay? That shows you exactly how to do this. And another tip I will sneak out there, if you see a layering guide that has stencils, okay, and it has a number under the image, that means it's a stencil. We do have some sets that there are stencils and stamps. So if you see an image and it has, say this didn't have a number, that would be a stamp. So just so you guys know, if you're out and about and you're looking at the layering guides and you said, oh my goodness, what is going on? There's no number. That would mean it's a stamp if there's no number. If there's a stamp, then that means it's in the stencil. So we will keep this handy because these are super duper handy, right? We learned that the other day, and I apologize for, going ahead and doing 2 days of stenciling, but it's just kind of how the projects kind of came out for me. So, we will do other things on Crafty Adventures, Okay, stenciling, being creative. Yes, it really does. It really does help. And you guys may see monoggin. So we are going to start on our stencil. We have our layering guide here. And it shows this chunky monkey leaf down at the bottom, okay? So we're going to go with this chunky monkey fella. That's where we're going to start. And it shows us our floral is right here. So we have all the leaves. So we've got our roadmap. So then I just kind of come in and play around with it until it all lines up for me. That's the way that I do it. And I'm just looking for my little leaf here. Okay, there we go. Because I have certain places that they just fall into line for me, and you will find that as well. And what I always recommend, and I know you guys are going to say, you tell us this all the time, you're a broken record, my dear, but sometimes we have new folks that like to join us. So I do like to mention, if you see a place on the stencil that really works for you, come over to your guide and mark that. Okay, these are the landmarks that Altenew gives, but if you have one that works better for you, mark that puppy down. Mark him right on there. You're enjoying the Craft Your Life. Well, Carol, it's a little different. The Build-A-Garden, I think is going to, I'm not sure if it's gonna have, I think it's gonna have a stencil every month, I believe it is, but the project, the Craft Your Life project kits, you also get the embossing folder with it. So this one, you don't get the embossing folder. So that would kind of be the difference that I would think of when I was considering if I was going to switch. If you're a person that just absolutely adores embossing folders, oh goodness, you guys are developing ways to say that Bridget made me buy it. Oh, you guys, oh, my little heart emojis. Oh, Pam. Oh, my little heart emojis are flowing out. Okay. So we are using today, we're going to use Martian terrain and seashore, but they're both having a couple friends come over, shall we say. We have from the Frozen Delights. Now, you guys are all going to want ice cream after this. I always tell Tasneem, I'm like, you make me eat ice cream because I use the inks and then I got to have the ice cream. So if you guys have mint chocolate chip tonight, think of Tasneem. So I'm going to do similar, but I'm going to do my flowers in the seashore with their little mint chocolate chip fella. And then I'm going to do the leaves in the Martian terrain with the little orange sorbet fella. So I'm going to start my flower with mint chocolate chip. And I made that decision. I had just cleaned off my brush because I used a dark color for my Martian terrain. And now I'm going back in. I changed my mind at the last minute, as I often do. This is how I store my blending brushes. This is from the markers, the artist markers. When they come, I just have it, and I happen to have 2 of them. So I just put it like this and store it away because Emery likes to eat them. So if you have that problem in your space, it's a good solution. So yeah, we're changing it up this time. Now these flowers are layered, but I still like to, as always, come in with my depth where it would be the darkest. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm using that to my advantage because I can come in. I moved my tape, so my thing may be a little off, but that's okay. So I can come in from the other side with really light and fill it in. But I want to make sure in where I believe, and this is the beauty of this, it's about where you believe it would be dark, okay? And if you have trouble with that, if you have trouble with adding details, dimension, anything like that, and this is with watercolor, artist markers, anything, look at these. Look at the layering guide, okay? Because they'll give you ideas on where it should be darker and such, okay? So we've done our mint chocolate chip. Now we're going to move to Mountain Mist for our next one. And the Mountain Mist is in the seashore. So we're starting in the seashore family. We had our visitor over from the Frozen Delights. Now we're going to this fella in the center, or gal, fella or gal. My orthopedic doctor, he asked me, he said, why is it we always attribute big fella and stuff like that? Because I say that frequently. And I said, we could say big gal. And I go, no, nobody really wants to hear that. Most women don't want to hear big gal. So I stick with big fella. So hopefully that's okay with everybody. All right. And we're a little out of there. All right. So I'm going to move my inks out of the way because they're kind of hogging some space here. And we're a scotch limited on space. So now if I were smart, so when you guys do this, make sure, tape down your paper too. I should. Am I? No. Am I going to tape off these little pieces that don't go with this? Absolutely. Because will I ink blend them? Absolutely. And we can use the tape later in other places. All right. So now, good afternoon. Better late than never, my loves. Okay. You guys want me to go out more? I just wanted you to be able to see the detail of the stencil. So let me know. I can in, out, up, down, whatever you like. Dealer's choice. All right. So we're getting this in here. We're going along. All right. And you could I thought it would be so pretty. And if somebody does this, please, I would love to see. If you guys get this and make something, I would love to see it. If you guys are like, hey, I tried a new color combo, I love to see your project. So if you do, let me know. I would love to see it. So we got that on there. So now we're starting to come together. Upside down, let's go abstract. So I get it. These lives, we're going to start adding a degree of difficulty. I get it. I love you guys. You guys are just terrific. You're just awesome. Is there a better group of people? No. You guys rock it, man. All right. And the good thing is although it's, these lines are light, you could also, instead of using limestone, I did stamp it twice, as you saw, to get a little bit darker. But if you wanted to, you could use Silverstone. Silverstone would still be a good choice. It's a lighter gray, so you're not going to get an overwhelming color there. I think I'm a scotch off, but we're going to go with it because we're on a time crunch here. Because this is, again, a big one. Big fella. I'm going with big fella. I think I'm going to stick with big fella. I like big fella. Yeah. Yes, you guys, some of you do know that I am up for a challenge. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, I am, because I can be a silly, silly girl and wild sometimes with my crafty endeavors. Okay. So the beauty is, as you go along, what are the blue lines on guide on paper? Okay, so you see right here, the blue lines in the flower? That comes over and matches up with the blue lines right here, okay, or in this flower. The red, you'll see the red down here. That matches up with the red. So that's the leaves. So it will change. There are some that I've seen like 4 or 5 colors. I'm trying to think. The floral thanks, there's a lot of different colors. So just match the color that you have here up here. That's what's going to match, okay? That's what you want to match. All right. And as you can see, as we go, the definition and the lines come. Now, when I do this on my own, if I didn't put enough color, then I'm going to go back and add that. And the detail blending brushes will be fantastic for doing that. But we're just I just wanted to show you the gorgeousness of this set today. So you really can take this set in so many amazing ways. There are so many amazing things you could do. I would love to see a rainbow one. I mean, oh, that would be exciting. Oh, congratulations, Mercedes. Yay. Oh, that's wonderful. And you are so welcome, Candace. Any questions? I love questions. So if you have any, they can be about anything. I can't promise I know anything about nuclear fission, but I'll try, I'm probably not the gal to ask on that, but you got to give it a try. You got to do your best, But you are so welcome, Mercedes. That's so exciting. So exciting. So look how pretty. Look how pretty. It just looks like you can touch it. It's so gorgeous. Okay. So now we're up to this darkest one here that has like the lobster claw. It's like, oh, I'm gonna grab ya. All right. So we got the lobster claw, and the lobster claw is going to go over it. Let's put our cap back on the lagoon. We're going to bring over the emerald. And this is why having those frozen delights and the I'm trying to think and talk at the same time, but I can't, apparently. The jewel tones, there we go. The jewel tones and the frozen delights. That's why it's super fun. Hello, everybody coming in. Thank you for joining us. It's super fun to have the jewel tones and the frozen delights, because that's why on the big pads of the frozen delights and the jewel tones, I just didn't take mine out today. On the frozen delights, you'll see a 0 on it because it's the 0 layer, because you put it at the front. So, like Mountain Mist would be a 1. Granted, the old packaging doesn't list it, but if you have the color guides, you can see what I mean by that. So, okay, we're going in with some emerald. Better late than never, Beverly. So glad you're here. All right, and I'm a little off. There we go. Oh, I'm a little off as I think of my adorable mother. Okay. My mother was intrigued by I host a for anybody that would like to join. I host a free Saturday Altenew Crafty workshop, and my mother was watching everybody create, and she was so excited to see all of the cards. She had such a good time. So it would be super, super fun if I could get my mom involved. How many times did I do this to practice? None. So this makes a lot of sense to my brain. This really, I can do no line stencils. Yes, and we all are. Thank goodness I found my friend. How much dimension, and you love how much? Oh, from layering up. Yes, it's super fun because it looks like you can touch the floral. So now we're moving on to the leaves. Okay, so we're just going to keep trucking along here. All right. And Roxanne's my co-pilot. Wonderful co-pilot. All right. And I love that I get to work with both of them. So fun. Okay. We're going to go wild. This is where we're going wild. Orange sorbet, my friends. Orange sorbet, if we can open it. All right. My hands have been, I have a house and I had to do a little DIY plumbing. And so I could not open the cover to the rubber cement because I was DIY plumbing. And so I had to have my tenant open it for me. I'm like, can I use your hands? And I'm getting orange all over because I am going after my ink pad away from me. And I shouldn't be doing that. So you guys won't do that though. So I'll have a few orange spots on mine. But that's okay. That makes it fun. This set is gorgeous. It's just stunning. And I love that Altenew is like, hey, build a flower is terrific, but why don't we build a garden? Why don't we throw some more stuff on there? Because we all love the gorgeousness. I mean, let's be honest. We all love gorgeousness. And that is just gorgeousnand all right. So see, look at that orange. I love this. And I wanted to go out of my box a little bit and, experiment some with, I'm still staying with the same colors, but I did flip them. So the florals are the teals and the leaves are going to be orange. But today because I was like, oh, I did use that combo on my card, but on my card, I did use Seashore, but I just used Seashore, and I used Warm and Cozy. So I didn't play around with any of the jewel tones or anything like that. So that's what I wanted to do today, is just show you guys not only this magnificent new set we have, but I also wanted to show you the amazing possibilities with color that would be super fun to do. Because I think sometimes we get in color ruts. Yes, I do know. Avril's my teal sister. She just loves the teals as much as I do. Okay, so all these open ones, okay, those are our lightest color that we're going to use. You could use it as your darkest color and then put embossing powder or something over it and set it. You don't always have to do I've seen somebody do that recently, so it wasn't my original brain idea. It hadn't been on my mind lately. So those are my two. Let me see. Just want to get them lined up here. There we go. Get in my lines. And the great thing about using limestone is it's light enough, at least for me. And somebody had asked that, oh, Mercedes, you're a teal. Do we have a lot of folks out there that love teal? Let's see that. Let's see. And we have Pastel Sunrise next, which is probably one of my favorite colors. This, you guys, the ones that know me know Rock Collection. I call Rock Collection my husband of Altenew because we've been together a long time, and I don't know if there's anything better. And I did use my Rock Collection today. I love my Rock Collection. But the Martian Terrain really steals my heart. It really does. Now, another option, too, that looks great with teals, if you love teals, is a gray. Take out a gray. Now, I would strongly, highly recommend the rock collection. Um, but we have lots of beautiful, we have the warm grays. So it depends on your project that you're doing as well. We have the warm grays and we also have the gentleman's gray collection. So we have lots of wonderful, wonderful collections of grays. Lots of choices. And let's face it, don't we love choices? I love choices. It's always nice when you have a choice. Okay, we're cooking along, which is good because we, like I said, we're very busy today. Luckily, I can kind of chat and work. I can't think while I'm doing it, but just, chatting with you guys, I can absolutely do because otherwise we'd be in some big trouble, mister. All right. And apparently I did miss a piece there. Let's see. It looks like a little pair of lips and it's got an indentation. I don't see it on there. So let me see. Let me look real quick and see if I can see it really quickly. If not, that's okay. What we're going to do, we're going to wing it. Okay. We're just going to go here. Oh, I got some on my leaves. That's all right. Okay. But we don't have that white spot there anymore. I get a little bit my orange. That's okay. That's all right. That if I was going to cut this out, that's where I'd put the sentiment banner. Okay. Now, and I do have orange up there. That's okay. It's all right. So now we're on to 3. And 3 is going to be our tree or our branch, I guess, not tree. Trees have branches, right? Right? Okay. So while I line this up, let me take just a quick second here. You guys know I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. That's why I don't chew gum. So this is where, again, Roxy, I'm so sorry. I'm bringing in lava rock. So it's always twists and turns. That's why it's Bridget's Crafty Adventure here. Now, I am tapping off, okay, in here because I don't want a lot of it. If you need to tap off and don't have a place, do it in the top of your ink pad, okay? And of course, I just knocked that off where it was supposed to be. All right, so I'm going to go super duper light here because I'm only doing this, okay? And then I'll come down here and do this. Whoop. Then I'll come down and do this one right here. So there's this piece and then there's this piece. And I've tapped off because I'm going to go heavy on the top I'm going to use lava rock for both layers. Okay. So I want to go kind of light for this one so I can come in with some heavy color. Now, if you go a little too dark on this one, it's okay because you can just go heavier. You know what I mean? You still have that control. So then now, and I was a little crooked on the bottom, but that's okay. You guys know. All right. So if I was correct, I would be over there. Now, this is why the satin masking tape, really important. All right, now we're going to come in and we're really going to pack that ink right in there. Yeah, I love using, yes, it is a NASCAR change lane. And let me tell you, Angel and Roxanne are NASCAR experts because they know, they like anticipate my moves, which before I do it, which is saying something because half the time I don't know what I'm going to do first. So they are super, super amazing at that. Okay. So we've gotten all of our tree branch there up top. So now we have a little scotch of one down here that we're going to come in and fill in. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go kind of light. So I'm just using the leftover ink on there. You could use a brown, if you wanted to, but I just wanted to do something a little bit different. So I liked the gray, and I liked the gray with my color palette as well. So you can change up your branch as well, with your color palette. Okay. Now what you could do too, which would be really, really cool, is you could change, because we're going to do 2 cards. You could, and why don't we? Let's go. Let's do the leaves down at this end. We'll do the leaves in the teal, and we'll do the flower in the orange. That way you guys can see them both, okay? So we'll go back to our mint chocolate chip. If we can open it. I need somebody to come open my ink pads for me. Any volunteers? Anybody can open the ink pad, super easy. I'm hiring for an ink pad opener. It's my hands, it's not the ink pad. The ink pads are wonderful. It's just my hands. All righty. So all of these line up in this section. Okay. So we're going to go for it. We're going to start. Okay. I start where it would be darkest, because that way, if you come in, as my husband used to say, his brother who was a pilot said, if you come in hot, it's okay. Because, you're coming in from where you'd have the deepest color anyways. So if you get a little too much color, it's okay. And then if I want to add a lot of color, okay, and you can use this too. Yeah, use a pokey tool. Yes. It just, some days I'm fine. Other days, it just, my thumb, you can hear it snapping. It doesn't want to cooperate. So if you don't want to pounce off on your lid, you can pounce off over here and then come in and bring that ink, because we don't want to waste that ink, my friends. We don't want to waste that gorgeousness because it's just too pretty. All right. And then we'll come in really lightly here and get this. And then I will come in super heavy right here. And I'm coloring this all the green. It's a stem coming off. So that's why I'm coloring it the green. And we will add additional layers to this. So, all right. And there are some curly cues that are here that we have the stencil for. I will tell you, because of my chosen technique, it kind of adds a little degree of difficulty to it, because it is a little harder to see with the way I've chosen to do it. Okay, so yours will go a lot easier, but if you like to do the no line, it just takes a minute we'll come back to that. I want to make sure I have time to do the whole flowers. Okay, so we'll come back and we'll add that at the end. I just want to make sure I can show you the majority of the florals before we go, but we can go back and add that. I just want to make sure we have time. All right, so we have this here. So we're going to add our leaves, and this is our base because it's still the open one. Okay, it's still the open one. So I've got enough left on my tool. And it may be some that's left on my tool that is a little too dark, but that's okay. That's okay. And then we got this little leaf right up here. I'm adding a little more at that base because I came in a little heavy. All right. And then we have I like to do these. So here's a question to pose to everybody. I like to do these in sections. So I like to do all of my leaves. And then I like to go ahead and do all my florals. Do you guys do it that way, or how do you guys do it? Do you guys just kind of follow along with what you see? Do you have a plan? Do you just embrace the crafty adventure? Which way do you guys go? I would love to know in the comments. Okay, so let me make sure. Sorry about the noggin. I always make sure it's a clear noggin, a clean noggin. Wouldn't that be great if I could have a clear head so you guys, I could look in, nobody would see my big noggin. And yes, the branch, isn't that terrific? You could add some wonderful birds. That is right on the money. That's a wonderful idea. Yes, embrace the crafty adventure. And again, this little 5-pack, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I can't count either. You guys, oh my goodness. I just get so excited with crafting. Everything goes out the window. I think that's why it's always a crafting adventure. I would be dangerous with a plan too. Yeah, no plans. Nope. I know. So you can see, look at the leaves. You can see where I dropped my orange. But that's okay. So that's all right. You guys won't do that. You guys will be like, no, I'm going to be very, very careful. I saw Bridget accidentally drop her orange there. I'm not going to do that. All right. Then we're going to come in and we're going to line up our flowers. And again, if you wanted to do the no outline method and you're like, oh, my friend, it's too light for me. I would love this look, but it's too light. Use the silver stone. Try that out, okay? Don't give up on the good morning, hello. Don't give up on the no line coloring. Just, try a little bit of a darker ink, and you can still get that where it's not that dark black. I love that dark, clean, crisp line for many things, but this is just my jam. I love the delicate look you get, because these florals are just so gorgeous. And the line sometimes seems in my eye to steal the spotlight from the florals. And I'm like, no. So that's why I think I love no line so much. I know some folks aren't really no line fans. So if we have people that are no line fans out there today, I'm so sorry. That I've done no line twice in a week. My next one, we will do something different. We will go on a different adventure. So, but for this one, this is our adventure. Okay. And this for me, like I said, this for me, I love puzzles. I've always done puzzles. So this for me, the no line is super duper easy for me lining up. But I think if you take the time, this is definitely a technique where you want to give yourself time to do it. You don't want to do it when you're in a rush, okay? Because you'll get very frustrated and you'll be like, I don't like this technique. But give yourself time. That's the secret of this technique, is giving yourself the time to do it. So, even if you do, and this is a big fella, we talked about it. This is a big fella. So even if you start, and I'm going in with pastel sunrise. I started with orange sorbet, and then we're going to go in with pastel sunrise now. And we're going to bring that over. Hopefully I don't get that on my other flower. Now, if I was smart, I would cover that with a piece of printer paper while I was working. That's another tip. If you've done a whole section and then you're going over to another section and you don't trust yourself, just put a piece of copy paper. So I have a piece, I just printed a label. I could just put it like that. And then I'm only leaving out that little area that I'm working on. So that way, if I make a mistake, it's okay. All right. And we have 20 minutes. So let's go ahead. Pardon my noggin, but we will go ahead. We're going to go back to 3. Okay. That was stencil 4. We're going to go back to 3, and we are going to, I call this the snake, because it's a little curvaceous curlicue. So I call it the snake, which I'm terrified of snakes. So I don't know why I call it that. All right, so we're right in here, and I'm going to go in with my lava rock, and I apologize if it's a little, oh, I should have Bridget's a little off crafty adventure. Oh, good. And I get some color there too that doesn't belong. Oh my goodness. Gotta watch me every second. All right. And then this fella just comes in here, and we're going to line it up to the best of our ability for the second that we're doing it. All right. And the good thing is you can see through the stencil. So like I said, if your stencil, tape your stencils down. This is a big 2. Do as I say. Not as I do. But so there's our little, as I call them, this is the snake here, and this is the curlicue. So there's our snake and curlicue all done. So we have this huge panel. Can you imagine doing a page with that? You could put a little photo up in the corner up here. It would just be super duper gorgeous. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our stamp tool, and we're going to carefully, I have chutzpah. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Do they sell a group of colors? Yes, they do. You can get these if you buy the minis. Well, this is a different family. So what would come, say you wanted to buy the Seashore family, okay? So these are the 4 in the Seashore family that you would get: Mountain, Mist, Volcano, Lake, Lagoon, and Emerald. You can also get them in the big fellas, the ovals. So we got the mini cubes and we got the ovals. I I have both because there are different techniques you can do with both. I really like these because you can hold them. They have those finger grips, and they come off easier for me. And also, we learned if you read the back of the thing, and our wonderful Lana Tabor, one of our educators, reminded us that you can do this so you have a bigger grasp area. Or if you have a small crafting space, you won't lose your lid. So if you have a bunch of lids on your desk, a bunch of inks, just put it on the back of your pad. You have a bigger section to grab and put with. You can still just put it down, but you'll always know what it is. So those are the two options, and they come in sets, both of them. You can get the big ones singularly. You can only get the ink cubes in sets. Okay. And they do have different sets. They have like a, I just used a peach, it was a peach one I used, and it's got a bunch of different colors, which is fun if you're just building your collection. They're from different families. So that's a fun thing. All right. So what we're going to do is now we're going to come over and we're going to choose our sentiments. Okay. Oh, thank you, Roxanne, so much. Roxanne put the ovals in there too. If you're interested in the ink pads, you can check those out. All right. I did, I think I'm going to go, I love the make your heart the most beautiful thing about you. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. So going to apologize for the noggin. I am going to put my grid. This is just something I have in my stash, but our amazing Ann Taylor, who is an educator and who is here at the moment, actually makes these in her own space. So you can make these at home if it's something you're interested in. And I think that's straight. I think we're straight. All right. And then this one over here, two decisions. Okay, what should we use? We have Let's Respond with Grace, Bloom with Grace, Thankful for All You Do, Thank You, Love Genuinely, Stay Kind, Plant Smiles, Grow Laughter, or We Rise by Lifting Others. What do we think? Oh, I didn't say how big this stamp is, but we can somebody give me pick a sentiment, any sentiment. So let's put it on here. So if I angle it like this, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches across. Plant Smiles, you got it. 8 inches across by 1, 2, I would say 3 because it hangs over about ½ an inch on either side. So it's about 8 by 3. All right, so let's do the Plant Smiles. And I'm so glad you said that one because I haven't used it yet. It has never been used, so we might as well christen it today, correct? What a better day to use it than today. All right, and I apologize for my noggin. Again, it is a clean noggin, and it's a big one. I got a big head. My hat was like shrinking off my head the other day, and my dad actually, funny story, I was wearing this hat. And all it is it's a cotton hat and it's navy. And I love it. It's so comfortable. And so we were at the beach the other day. It was a little chilly, so I was wearing it. But I have a good memory. I was with my dad and I was, oh my gosh, it took my sentiment. Where'd my sentiment go? He looked at me and he goes, oh God. And I said, why are you staring at me? Because he kept staring at me in the mirror, in the car, the rearview mirror. And I said, why are you staring at me? And he looks at me and he goes, does Sean see you in that hat? And I said, yes. And he goes, really? You let people see you in that hat? And I said, yes, I like my hat. What's wrong with my hat? He did not like my hat. I don't know why he didn't like my hat, but he didn't like my hat. It's just a blue hat. I don't know what there is to dislike about it, but as it was shrinking off my head the other day when I was at the beach, I was kind of snickering because, just good memories. Now, if you want to fancy this up, you guys know what I'm going to suggest. Yeah, they can be interesting. Okay, hopefully I'm straight. Now, we can go rogue again, and as we often do, We don't go too far, though. It's not like, you know, we were in Rome and I try to go to Spain or something. So let's throw some embossing powder, because to me, this makes it super fancy, special. And it just takes a second, but they get to see that raised ink. Now be careful, because remember, we ink blended. So that ink is likely still wet. Mine kind of clung here. Granted, it is, it's just, and this is just a junk brush. I don't use my Altenew brushes for this. It's clear. So, you know, if it does get on something, it's not the worst thing, but, you know, I'd rather not. Okay. So let's heat set this really quick. And then I'm going to show you another idea. So while that's heating up, we will take another piece of spicy yogurt. We're going to set that to the side so I don't stick my hand in it. Okay, and we're going to cut it down. And this is how I store all my papers. I just put the title at the top and then stick my papers in there. My container for embossing came from the Dollar Tree. They say you're not supposed to put them in there, that it's bad for them because you're supposed to leave them in the jars, but I had already moved all of mine over. So it was like, well, they're kind of more staticky, I guess. All right, so what we're going to do, we are going to take, let's do Canyon Clay. Let's go wild. And we're going to color this piece of paper so you can see the difference if you use just the spicy yogurt or if you add some color around it. So what's most important here is we just want to get our edges. I should have brought my big fella over. Okay, well, heat set too. This for any of you that wonder, this is what really happens in my office. I got the heat tool, I'm ink blending, things are falling on the floor. This is true story. So yeah. See, when you heat set this, that little bit to me adds such a special touch. Such a special touch. Okay, and I didn't burn the paper, which I did the other day. I wasn't paying attention because I'm always doing 82 things at once. So, okay, and then, all right, so we're almost done. And then, of course, another option is once you have this all ink blended, you could run it through. So when you get to this point with your panel, before you glue it down, run it through an embossing folder. That will add extra interest. So if you're making a card set and you want to have each one be a little bit different, that's another way that you can go. Do I like my trimmer? Yeah, most of the time. Most of the time. Lately, I don't know. I thought it was supposed to sharpen every time it cut, and I don't know. Most of the time we get along well. Yes, we have a good friendship. So, all right. Okay, and then again, you can go as dark or as light as you want to. You could leave some lighter areas, darker areas. It's just going to add interest. You know, you don't have to have perfect coverage. Yeah. Yeah, no, Anne, I drop everything. And Emery helps too. She loves to knock stuff off my desk. So that's like the second I'm done, I have to put these tools away because they will be all over the floor with cat fur. And she only goes after my Altenew stuff. So she has very good taste. So that was Canyon Clay. So what we're going to do, we'll take out our trimmer, and it's a little warped, but that's okay because we'll use the foam tape. So we're going to go over to 4 1/4. Make sure it's 4 1/4. And then actually, I'm going to go down to, on this one, I'm going to go down to 4 by 5 1/4. So because I have my sentiment at the top, I'm going to take the whole 1/4 inch off at the bottom. Okay. And then we can do the same thing over here. because we have this little end, because it's the, what did I say, like 3 by 8. So we have some areas that, you know, if this would be perfect for a slimline card too. This would be super great for a slimline card. Okay, so the last thing we'll do is add the foam tape. Put those away because she will be coming. Okay. I know a lot of you have, hello from New Jersey. Yes, the blending brush. Yes, yes, yes. And yes, the embossing. I heart the embossing. Oh my gosh, I heart the embossing. All right, now I did this the other day. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to go wild with the foam tape. But I went a little wild. All right, so I'm just going to go like every third. Oh, there we go. Well, okay, we'll put that on the other one. And because we don't waste any of this at all. We save all the little bits. Isn't that great? Yeah, 2 cards or a slimline. You know, we could have done a slimline too, but I wanted to show you guys. I love the 2 fur, You know, you put in just a scotch of work and you get back this beautiful set. Okay, and then also think about, you know, the spicy yogurt. There were a couple in stock the other day, so I'm not sure on that front. But the spicy yogurt to me adds a little extra dimension. So if you, I mean, I almost to me is like takes the place of splatter on a card. So see the difference? Just adding that color on your cardstock, and it's everything you had because it's that family of cards. And then we can add this one. Now, if you use the warm and cozy family, okay, there is an orange cream cardstock. That's what I used. So there is orange cream cardstock that matches the warm and cozy. So that's also an option for you. Okay, so let's just put this one on here. We'll use that little piece of tape. So many families, I know. They are so beautiful. Oh, I'm so glad it was helpful. That's so amazing. I love doing this with you guys because, you know, the questions that you guys have sometimes take us in different directions. And I love that. I love crafting with all of you. I wish I could have you all over to my craft room. This way I get to have you all. And it doesn't matter if you're in another country. We didn't have to go to the airport. How cool is that? Hello, Angie. Hello. Yeah, sure. You could just color the edges. I just get a little overzealous. You could also, Sarah, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and just drag your ink pad down if you wanted to do that. That's another idea. If you wanted that true full on, because remember, ink blending, you're going to get a lighter color than what you are using, okay, with ink blending. So you got to remember that piece as well. So if you want that really dark, vibrant, true color, you could drag your ink pad down. So let's see. All right, there. That doesn't show too much of my messy desk. So here are those. Here are the ones that I did for the hop. So see, it's a little bit different. And here are just 2 that this one, the splatter got out of control for me, but I'll still send it to a friend because, you know, splatter, everybody understands splatter sometimes gets out of control. But look too at the difference of just changing your inks and what an effect you get with that, you know. And then these that I used the warm and cozy, which are a darker, deeper, richer orange. These are more kind of peachy, lighter colors. So, but think of putting different colors together. Oh, I'm glad you love them. That's so, oh my gosh, you guys. Yeah, it would be great with a bird set. That would be really good. And a reminder again, I'll remind one last time today, there is free shipping at $29. So that's today. Don't join Joni. No, I didn't cover it. So we had a dear friend who knocked over a bottle of orange cream on her project. She did save it. But yes, so the splatter, you have to watch that bottle. But yeah, so and then, all of them were heat embossed because again, I think that's just an extra special touch that you can add super duper easy. And on this one, this is still lava rock, but I just went really heavy on the first layer and heavier on the second. So that's the same ink. So stretch those inks, and then also look at different inks that you can bring together. Now, I believe that Seashore and I can come up so you can see my face. I believe that Seashore and um, Sweet Dreams go together really, really super duper well. So that's another one that I love to kind of cram together and get different results. So look at your inks that are similar as well. Look at your oranges and see what you can kind of cross over and get for different results. Play with those ink pads because that's the fun, is seeing how far you can stretch all those wonderful supplies because they're wonderful to begin with. But then when they kind of bring friends over and they're all working together, it's just such a wonderful thing. So thank you everybody for joining me. I look forward to these so much. I cannot explain how much I look forward to these. These are so fun. And I love that you all come to craft for an hour with me. It can't get better than that. And thank you again to Roxanne, my eye in the sky, that is a wonderful co-pilot because I do take some quick left-hand turns and she's right there with me. She's fantastic. And thank you so much, you guys. Oh, you're so welcome. You are so welcome. And thank you so much, you guys, for letting Altenew help you craft your life. So we will see you very, very soon again with something very exciting to be crafty and just share all of our crafty ideas and crafty fun and the camaraderie we have in this amazing community. So until next time, keep crafting and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye guys.